Powered by Riverside FM.
All right, so for this Browns Backers interview, please help me welcome a wonderful woman that we were able to meet at the Browns Backers President's Summit in Cleveland this year. We were at PJ McIntyre's, the president of the Tri-Valley Browns Backers, Becky. Got more to introduce, guys. There's more. We're joined by her sons, Austin, who's the vice president of the group as well, and Andy is hanging out with them too. So how is everybody?
Very good. Very good. Austin actually got married the week after the summit, so.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations.
Married man now.
Thank you. It was an intense week.
Nice. I bet. So you were here, because we didn't get to catch up with you, but you were here for that?
Nah, yeah, I was chilling at the hotel room at that point. I think that was pretty late, right?
Yeah, Andy.
Yeah.
Andy was with me, and then he went with Kevin, and.
Oh, I did see you for a moment, Andy. I was like, this guy looks familiar. He was out there with our buddy from the North Jersey Browns Backers, just hanging out. And, yeah, nice. What was that?
It was a fun weekend.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys got into trouble as soon as you left.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of fun.
But no, Becky, guys, tell us a little bit about your club. When you were established, viewing location, those types of things.
So we are fairly new. We started in 2019, and we had a good inaugural year, and then COVID hit. And 2020, our viewing location did not have the Sunday. Most of New York didn't open. So we basically watched from our house. We bought the ticket. Austin was in college, and he got an offer for $99 to get the Sunday ticket for that season. So we just invited all the club members to come to our house. And when it was warm enough, we were out in the garage. And when it wasn't, we sort of packed around in our living room and watched. And after that, our viewing location, the next year we went back, 2021, we went for one game. They couldn't guarantee us that they were going to open every Sunday at 1. And we were playing the Chiefs at 4:25 that first week. So we went there. Yeah, that wasn't pretty. And then this new place was opening, and Austin and I went and talked to her. She's like, "Oh, I would love to have you." So the location is called Frogs, and it's right on the Erie Canal in Oneida. And we go there every Sunday, and we fill the place up with 25 to 30 of us most of the time.
25 to 30 is actually very, I know you said it's been a little bit of a slow start, but that's very respectable given all the challenges that COVID threw at us and everything else. I mean, you're talking about viewing locations, things, and those bars just all closed down too.
I was going to say, she was just giving me bad flashbacks to COVID times.
just this closes down and that closes down.
What a time to be alive that was.
A lot of my family's in the restaurant industry, so there was a lot of just all the weird stuff that we had. Any nightmare that you can think of, nightmare scenario that came with COVID. I've heard extensively about it because of those family members. But
I commend you. It's awesome that you were able to kind of keep things moving just by having folks down to your house. What a great idea to try and keep things together. Awesome.
Yeah,
and to do that.
Yeah, and he brings up a really good point is that it's just we talked to a lot of different Browns backers groups, and you're probably the first one that we've talked to where they said, well, we had to keep our club going, so we just hosted it at the house. And it's awesome to hear that, because that's what it means to be the Browns backers president. As you say, you got to take it on yourself and say, we're going to keep this thing going come hell or high water. So,
yeah.
Yeah, kudos to you guys. I bet that's tough having 30 people in your house.
We didn't have that many. We did in the garage. We had, because actually I know one week we were playing Washington, and some of our friends who were Redskins fans at the time came over and watched with us. So that was definitely better to be out in the garage in a bigger space. But my dad was 90 that year, and he is the reason that we are Browns fans. He grew up in Cleveland and used to jog down to the stadium every Sunday morning, and they'd start at West 90th or whatever and run down and pick up their friends all along the way and get in the stadium for a quarter. And that began his love of the Browns. And so we thankfully got this club started before he passed away so that he got to be a part of it with us for a while.
Well, and what an awesome legacy to leave.
What a great story.
That's a great story to start. And then just sounds like a great man. I mean, just the fact that he's a Browns fan, you could tell me nothing else. He's a great man. Great man.
It's just always funny, as we kind of do our virtual travels around the country to find out how did you become a Browns fan being, where you are. So, I mean, what an awesome story.
Yeah, that is awesome. And so, it sounds like now it's multi-generational, right? So it started with him, it went to you, and it's now down to the boys here.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about being dragged into this?
Yeah. We love it. It's a family thing, and we meet every week, and it's like our whole family has kind of gotten into it too. My wife, who was not a football fan before, is now a huge Browns fan and loves football. And her family didn't watch football either. Now they come on Sunday, so it's both sides, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So we love it.
Just keep converting them. Yeah. Church of the Cleveland Browns.
Becky, if you ever needed any, proof that you're raising your boys right, there you go. You got it right there. So
it's on camera.
Yeah. We now have it recorded. So, no, but that's fantastic. I mean, all great stories. Awesome that you were able to keep it going and everything. Are you guys? I know a lot of the Browns backers groups are involved with a lot of community service. It's kind of a staple of what they do. So, what types of community service are you guys into over there?
Well, we've not gotten too much involvement yet. So I mentioned my dad. My mom actually passed away about a week and a half after the summit. I was their caregivers for the last 4 years. So I haven't gotten to do as much exterior as I want to. Growing up, we were at Little League. They helped me when they were little run the concession stand and all that stuff. So we definitely want to get back involved in more community events. We do a Super Bowl square and raise money. There is a place not too far from here, about 15 minutes away, called Clear Path for Veterans. And they actually have a canine program. And we do the Super Bowl square and give half of that to the canine program because with the dogs. They actually had a dog last year named Chubbs. So it was sort of fitting. And we had nothing to do with that. So that's our kind of our big thing is the veterans. My dad was a Korean War vet. And so we want to focus on that. And then going forward, I want to definitely get more involved in some of the local events. And we always give to the Cleveland Browns Foundation as well.
Absolutely. No, a couple things before we move on here. First of all, condolences for your mother. That's
Thank
terrible.
You.
I don't know what I'd do without my mom. So,
yeah. That truly cherish every minute because my mom was almost 92, but it's still a big void not having her here anymore. So,
yeah.
And it just sounds like that was a crazy time in your life. I mean, from the president's summit to the wedding and then that too. Just everything happening at once.
It was 1 week after the next, the summit, the wedding, and she passed away while he was on his honeymoon, actually. So,
yeah, sorry to hear that. But you did mention the Super Bowl squares. So I just want to say the fact, I mean, you're saying it like it's I know you want to get more involved and you want to do more, which is fantastic. And I know almost every Browns backers group that we talk to wants to do more, but kind of just doing that speaks to what all these Browns backers collectively can do. And the fact that you guys only have, at the moment, it's growing, but at the moment, 25 to 30 members, and you're able to come up with whatever you can just to give to a charity. And it's kind of like-minded people coming together to give any little bit that they can to help out. It just kind of speaks to Browns fans in general, and especially these Browns backers groups and what they do.
Yeah,
for sure. So it's those individual bricks just laid together, right, that create that whole foundation. So it's awesome.
Some of them, some of the members, some of the other clubs, it's amazing what like if you looked at all of it, how much goes to charity. It's
Oh yeah.
Well, and that's why it's, collectively it's the group itself is just such an impact to local communities, because sure there's big groups, but there's also small groups, and every little bit matters. And it's like it's just awesome that you can get together still and have groups like this that are fan clubs that are also doing good in the community.
Yeah.
And so no, I mean, and when the Super Bowl squares come out, make sure you let us know, because we're big fans of Super Bowl squares. We'll join in.
I got both.
Go ahead.
I got both your phone numbers. I'll be texting you.
See, there you go. Any light gambling, I'm in.
Have you had a chance to have T-shirts or hats or any kind of like merchandise made yet, or is that something that's on the roadmap?
We are actually. One of the guys that we met at the summit a few years ago, his vice president talked to me. He's a graphic designer, and he has taken my idea, and he is supposed to be getting it on paper for me, or on digital for me, and then we plan on having shirts.
Nice.
Well, and that's another one. Let us know as soon as those come out, because we like to collect as many of those as we can, and we're behind, but we'd like to catch up. So,
well, we know it's revenue for you guys too, so we try to help out where we can.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And then, let's talk about football a little bit. I mean, that's the one of the big reasons why we all came together is we're all Browns fans. So let's just go ahead and start with the season so far. You could talk as much as you want about week 2 and what you thought about that game, but how do you think the Browns have looked all season? I mean, it's 2 games, but how do you think they've looked so far?
Better yesterday.
That's for sure.
I feel like week 1 was historically bad, and week 2 was much improved, right? I mean, I think we had 1 first down in the first half of the first week or something ridiculous like that. So to go from that extreme to seeing a team win a game, I mean, it's a lot more enjoyable when you're around a bunch of people. Week 1 was pretty miserable.
A lot of people left early last week.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yesterday was like the cardiac kids of old, but
I think
collective sigh of relief.
Yeah. I have this thing I do. They bar stools. I kind of crouch down around one and just sit like this. And I heard somebody behind me say, "Uh-oh, Becky's crouching down. It's not good." So.
Yeah. And to your point, it's just Austin. It's like night and day. Week 1 to week 2. I mean, the offense is still a little shaky, but the defense really picked it up. They were put in a lot better positions. Even if the offense wasn't necessarily getting it done, they weren't putting the defense in terrible situations.
Right.
So it was kind of night and day difference. A lot easier to watch this week and a lot more fun, for sure. I guess. So the question is, going forward, what kind of team do you think we're going to get?
I think this is a team that's capable of making the playoffs. It's just a matter of, is it all going to gel? I mean, the offensive line, I think, is a big concern. If they can't, string games together where everybody's healthy, we're going to be in trouble, because the disparity in the penalties probably had something to do with the fact that the O-line was really having a hard time. So I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I think it's a team that should make the playoffs if everything goes according to plan, but I don't know.
And go ahead, Becky.
I was just going to say, I was watching a show this morning that I watched. I don't know if you guys want me to say the name of it or not, but
you can say what you want. There's room here for
equal opportunity.
Okay. It was the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show I was watching this morning, and they were kind of breaking down the line did great in the run game, but the penalties, I think they said like 55 yards and penalties on some of the runs, and a lot of those penalties had nothing to do with the actual run, like making the run successful. So they definitely
a lot of alignment penalties so far.
Yeah. The line is definitely a big concern, and obviously, I guess you can look at it both ways. So it's a big concern. We have the 2 starters are still out. However, I guess the silver lining with it would be the 2 starters are still out. So when they come back, the hope is that you'll see a lot stronger offensive line play, less penalties, less, more. They're going to open up more lanes for the running game. They're going to open up more lanes for the passing game, and things just will be generally better. But
and despite the fact that we had 10 penalties again yesterday and a cobbled together
13.
line, still went for over 13.
11 the first week.
Still went for over 100 yards rushing as a team.
Yeah.
So I guess trying to pull silver linings where we can.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and so you guys are out in New York. And obviously, we're playing the Giants this week. So, are you guys hearing anything about the Giants? I'm not sure. I know New York's. You guys are in kind of upstate New York, if I'm not mistaken. So, are you guys hearing anything?
We're smack dab in the center of the state.
We're kind of Bills territory mostly. It's pretty predominantly Bills people here, but there are
there's a lot of Giants.
There's still a lot of Giants fans, but I'd say it's definitely.
But they don't have much to talk about.
They don't have much to say. I mean, they kind of are in the closet right now. So, but
and that kind of answers my question. Is it was going to be what are they saying about the Giants? But they're saying nothing. They're saying they're acting like they don't even have a team.
That's probably the best thing to say.
Yeah,
right. You know that meme when one of the Simpsons is kind of going back into the hedge
when Homer going into the hedges. Yeah.
I can't remember if it was Homer or Bart, but
yeah, they're not.
He comes out with a new T-shirt on, and it's a Cleveland Browns T-shirt.
Yeah. Well, I did the Giants because the Giants and the Browns were the only 2 teams that were on back in the day around here, and he hated the Giants. So I think there's a definite
fair. We all do. Who doesn't hate the Giants? But yeah, with them being that bad, I mean, do you guys have any predictions as far as the game goes? Not necessarily scores yet. We'll get to that in just a minute. But do you guys? Is there anything that you think we should be looking for where the Browns can really capitalize against the Giants this week?
Yeah, I think
a lot of it comes down to Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy on the offense. Cooper's been really non-existent from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy had a bit of a breakout this week, so I think if we can get him going in that right direction and get their run game going, I don't think the defense will have any trouble unless, penalties again seem to be the killer, but I think our defense looks good.
I think it's a game that we should win, but I think the issue with this week, for example, was there were so many missed opportunities and just stupid mistakes that I think in the NFL, if you make those too often, you can lose games against teams like the Giants, where you really should win. So
for sure,
yeah.
Like that.
I think that's the main worry on our minds this week as well. So, is not getting beat by a team that you should beat easily.
Right. We have a history of that.
Yeah, we do.
Right.
We were at the Jets game. Our club was at the Jets game 2 years ago.
Oh, God.
And this one back there, he's like, I said, we missed that extra point. He goes, who cares? I said, you should care as a Browns fan.
Oh man, that game, you're bringing back memories because
first COVID, now the Jets game.
We went hard on the Jets before that game, and I told Robert Saleh he can keep all his receipts because there's no chance that they were going to be beating us, and everything looked great until it didn't.
It didn't.
It's hard to be mad at Garrett Wilson. It's hard to be mad at Garrett Wilson for that, but he tore some.
Yeah, he did. But no, so score predictions for this game. Now we'll get to it. I'm gonna let all 3 of you give a score prediction for this game. So
that's my least.
And you can't back out. We've had way too many of these Browns backers presidents back out and be like, I don't give score prediction. We aren't dealing with that. You got to give a score prediction. So
I'm gonna say 24-10. I think the Browns will win, and I don't think the Giants can do much on offense. So it's going to be probably a slow-moving game, but the Browns will pull away in the end.
That's strong. I
like it.
Yeah. Andy?
I'm going to go 27-12, the way the Giants can't kick extra points. So
you have a missing 2 of them?
I'm going to have them going 2 touchdowns.
I think their kicker got hurt yesterday. They scored 2 touchdowns and went for 2 both times. So we think their kicker must have got hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't really watch it, but I kept seeing
it was on the other TV.
They had a weird score.
He was
weird scores yesterday.
He was actually injured going into the game, and then he re-aggravated it. And yes, they were in a bad way.
Nice.
So hopefully that continues.
Becky, what about you?
I'm gonna say.
Man, it's not like
28-6, Cleveland. I don't know.
28.
Whoa!
Wow,
I don't know.
Wow!
she's way more.
You think it's we're gonna be off to the races from the get go? It sounds like.
I like that.
Well, I'm just hoping that maybe we get some. If Daniel Jones is a little skittish, maybe we get some pick six here or there.
Awesome. I was going to say some defensive touchdowns. I like that.
That or the offense comes together. We're
Yeah.
going to see a good offense this year.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Those guys have to hold on to the football when it's in their hands, though.
Right. Yeah.
That'd be a good start.
Yeah. Well, no, listen, guys, we're going to wrap this up, but we do really appreciate you being on. I hope, I hope everyone is starting to see as we continue to do these interviews, just how much good you guys are doing, whether your club is big, small, just getting started, been around for years. It doesn't matter. All of you guys are really doing great things for your communities, great things to raise money for the different foundations that you work for, whether it be in your community or not. I know a lot of it, at least a portion of it, always goes back to the Cleveland Browns Foundation. So that comes back to Cleveland. So thank you so much for all you do and all you continue to do for all of these great organizations.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on with us.
Thank
Thank you
you
for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We're the
Tri-Valley Browns backers, and you're listening to Burning River Sportscast. Go Browns!
Good time talking to Becky and Sons, huh?
Becky and Sons.
Austin and Andy joined us.
I forgot that they were at the President's Summit because those boys were trouble.
Well, Austin wasn't there. Austin, he was back at the hotel. He was. We didn't meet him, but Andy, he pieced out of there with the North Jersey guy, and
they went and had a good time.
That was. Well, I actually looked over. I was like, "Hey, where'd they go?" And they're like,
"They're in the flats.
They're not here." So I'm sure they had a good night.
But yeah, no, good conversation with Becky. We appreciate her time and the kids. Definitely jump it on. That was fun.
Yep.